basically we're live now, and hopefully people are slowly joining. I'll actually write it in the chat if you just give me a second. Actually, and I can do is I have like a phone with me as well. So actually, then on the phone I can go and check like how is it streamed or not streamed, and then I see that we are live, kind of at that people are joining. So that's fine basically. So just to tell you, everything is working as planned. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. And first, yeah, I wanted to thank you actually for joining the community call today with me. And I mean, you and I had a little bit of a chat before we started. We went live. But Chris, first of all, thank you very much for joining the community call and supporting me kind of in today. But I think it would be amazing because I think a lot of the community members don't know you. So would you be, just take your time as much as you want to introduce yourself and say what interests you, what are you working on, what attracted you to SwissAssetDAO, and just about yourself. Yeah.
Hi everyone. So my name is Chris. I'm an ex-software engineer. I was a co-founder in a few startups as well in Web2 a couple of years ago, and yeah, I found a passion in Web3 and DeFi. The idea of being open and permissionless. I know that that's not necessarily flying well with regulators at the moment, but that's the key philosophy behind it, right? I've been working in the industry as well. So in particular, I have been a CTO in a regulated exchange in UAE, and currently I'm working on my own DeFi project. So early stages within the derivative space. It's called Upfield Finance. I'm trying to basically implement different strategies that are focused on yield generation, leveraging options in a nutshell. So how I know about how I know about SwissAssetDAO.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess it's knowing you and LinkedIn and social media. And I'm also passionate about real world assets. That's not what I'm building at the moment, but really, I think that's the missing link in DeFi. We can't just swap one token for another token. That's nice, having NFTs and so on. But to have really real utility to DeFi, we need to connect to the real world.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Chris. Really appreciate it. And maybe I can ask you, like, how you in general find the concept of SwissAssetDAO trying to be run like a DAO, community calls, Telegram chats. Like, how do you experience it? Like, and also maybe what we can all as a community improve on, or if everything is awesome, that's also great. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels awesome. It's my first time, so I don't know everything. I read the white paper. So far, so good. I guess it will be the usual comments that anyone can make about regulations and so on, and maybe the practical implementation of things on chain, and maybe we have like a iterative approach where we start more things off chain and slowly moving on chain. I know many projects, everybody wants to move on chain and become as decentralized as possible, but we always end up stuck in the middle, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way like you do, in a sense that, I mean, there's a lot of very interesting communities out there, So just to say it like that. And for me, the craziest of them are all the NFT communities. Really funny people, very nice, very interesting. Maybe not something I'm very like familiar with, but in general, I think like decentralization is a very important value of our industry, and so I'm very passionate about it. And very glad that kind of we can work something in that direction. But what I feel very proud of is that kind of how we started SwissAssetDAO with the legal grounding. So when Mike and myself were starting to think about SwissAssetDAO, I said we need to find a legal framework for SwissAssetDAO such that we can exist normally in the real world. And that's kind of why we incorporated SwissAssetDAO as a Swiss association, meaning actually that, we are actually governed by the members. And we had this now period, I think you now recall, we were asking and reminding people, please sign up as a founding member, because it was so important that we have those members identified. And then these members, literally, they decide, then it's kind of out of Mike and mine hands, it's kind of SwissAssetDAO is in the hands of the community, but obviously Mike and myself will always be here driving it and pushing it because we're very passionate about it. So it was very important kind of for me as well that we kind of find a right legal structure. And just today in the chat, I saw actually that Centrifuge, which is a very well-known kind of DeFi real-world asset platform, let's say the protocol, basically mentioned SwissAssetDAO as one of the positive or only examples of DAOs having a legal framework. So I'm very, very happy with that, to be honest, actually. Like, I think it's really awesome how we started, but a lot of work ahead, obviously. Yeah. And I hope you became a founding member or you signed up as a founding member.
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, very happy for that, actually. And maybe just because I'm sure like a lot of people, and Ali has joined us, yeah. Maybe a lot of people like ask me that, is like, what's next? Because a lot of people kind of registered their interest to become a founding member. So just to tell you, like, the next step is Mike and myself need to process all of that and formally kind of do this identification of founding members. Yeah. And then at that point, it's like the members are in, they're locked in. I mean, this is, we know who these people are, who then can govern SwissAssetDAO. And then very important next stage is actually we need to bring to the community how we structure membership in the future. Because, for instance, a lot of companies corporates wanted to become members. We don't really have a specific corporate membership, but a lot of individuals already asked me now, hey, I would like to become a member afterwards. So how does it work? What are the costs? What do I get? So it's very important now as a next step for us, just to tell you, like, so I'm sure, Chris, you're wondering, like, okay, we become members, what's next? Is we need to now then bring to the members a proposal how we have membership applications process going forward. So individuals and corporates, what does it mean? How much the memberships cost and things like that? Because the founding member, the annual membership fee is waived. So just to kind of tell you, like, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering. So just wanted to flag that kind of everybody understand it's in the hands of the community to decide how we structure memberships going forward. I hope that makes sense, actually.
Yeah. Can I give some feedback about my first impressions by just reading the white paper?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For me, it's slightly confusing. Is it an association, like an industry association, about everything about real assets? An association of different corporates and people in the industry. But there's also talk about investments as an investment vehicle. And that's opening question. So is SwissAssetDAO something like BitDAO, basically a fund that's going to invest in different things and offer return to its members? Or is it more like a place to discuss and define, discuss the industry standards and so on? Or is it both?
Yes. Yeah. Very good point. I think, like, I mean, first, just to actually, it's a very good point that you mentioned, is like when we say that SwissAssetDAO is a Swiss association, it's like, what do you mean? Because I'm sure for a lot of people who are not in Switzerland and legal experts, maybe are not really like super familiar with that. So, I mean, an association like in Switzerland doesn't really have that meaning the way it has like in the rest of the world, I would say, because association are exactly kind of what you mentioned. It's like an industry working group who kind of talks together, maybe establishes certain standards or certain guidelines or code of conduct. But this is not really kind of member association, kind of what the way SwissAssetDAO is. SwissAssetDAO is indeed, it's a group of people who have gathered themselves around a specific purpose. It's very important, like this purpose. SwissAssetDAO as an entity can be non-profit, or it can, I don't want to say be profit, but it can have commercial activities. So you can actually do stuff that makes money, but you cannot pay out dividends, for instance, or you don't have shares. It's very important that it's governed by the members. So literally, like, the members decide on the key matters. So it's the way I would kind of say it in very layman terms. It's kind of like a company, but that doesn't have shareholders. It has members. Since it doesn't have shareholders, it doesn't have shares themselves, and it cannot generate dividends. It's for the members. But it can offer commercial activities. So then you mentioned, but can SwissAssetDAO offer, as an example, I'm not saying we're going to do that on the first day. So can SwissAssetDAO offer investment products, for instance? Now, if we were to have an asset management, we would actually be able to do that. Obviously, this is like quite ahead than what we are now. But ideally, what SwissAssetDAO would do is we would offer a platform, a securitization platform, where you have all of these real world asset investments, and then a DAO can just plug into our platform, or even plug into us, kind of to say it, and then deploy capital through that platform into real world assets that offer sustainable and real returns on real world asset opportunities. So we are more in looking position as a platform. The entity, the structure of the entity that we have is this association, which is not, it's a very like a Swiss thing called Verein. And it's very important, we are in the end governed by the members, So it's also, Chris, I don't know if you saw it, like in the white paper, we also mentioned like what percentage of the vote do you need to have from the members to make certain really super key decisions, actually.
Yeah.
So I hope this clarifies a bit now, but if already since you mentioned it, and it's our responsibility now to really clarify more what it means, because I'm sure actually it's quite confusing, all of this stuff, that we terminology, but it's not clear to everybody in the world. And SwissAssetDAO wants to gather people from all over the world, excluding sanctioned countries, but from all over the world. Yeah. I hope that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, does. Yeah. Thanks, Anton.
Okay, pleasure. Yeah. But I think this is really now the key. First of all, Chris, I'm so grateful to you, because this is amazing. This is exactly the feedback that we need, is because then we can improve. And that's exactly what the community is about. That's exactly what the members are about, to give back feedback, to get a constructive feedback from a loyal community, such that we can improve. So I really want to thank you, really thank you for taking the courage and speaking and providing your feedback. Awesome. So just want to say, and thanks a lot. I just see now in the chat on LinkedIn. So just to tell you, Chris, William actually provided a link to on Wikipedia where it's explained what is a Swiss association. So he has it now on the LinkedIn chat, but I will also later share it as well, so people can kind of see, read a little bit more about it, and we will clarify it in the white paper. Yeah. And now when we talk about the community, now on Sunday we have closed the deadline for the founding members. So at the moment we're not accepting further founding members. So that's it. It's very important now for us to find kind of memberships going forward. More people have joined, and I'm all letting you in. So it's very important for us to define kind of how memberships look like going forward. But it's now very important also that we structure a core team around SwissAssetDAO, is because we will need somebody very operationally involved, and delivering on the key goals of SwissAssetDAO. So just want to invite,
fucking crazy.
Hi, Brad. We hear you now.
Well, all right. Well, we still have our data coming. I'm going to update our freaking real estate little report thing this morning and get that
Brad, can you hear us?
staged and ready to rock.
Right, let me tell him. Okay, I think no worries. So we had Brad for a while on the. But Brad, if you want to speak, just unmute yourself and go for it. So no worries. Yeah, but just wanted to kind of mention that it's really now key that we work in motivating and galvanizing the community members and the founding members to find a group of people that would serve as a core teams for SwissAssetDAO. So, meaning operationally, who would be willing to get involved in SwissAssetDAO, and that's extremely important. Chris, as you know, it is for purpose of fundraising, because when we go out and ask for funding for SwissAssetDAO, they will read all the amazing things that we're doing. They will say, okay, let's see how that goes. But then they will say, who is the team, right? So we need to have a really strong team. Just to say that Mike and myself, we are here. We are going to be, we are absolutely 100% willing to drive this forward. But we need support from more people, meaning, people on the operation side, on the finance side, on the tech side, just saying, where we need passionate individuals to kind of raise their hand, step up a bit, and express their willingness, to join the core team. And that we could go out and communicate that very strongly, also get to work as well. And obviously, the idea would be that with the funding that we would get, is then that would be the core team who would be working and compensated, like, formally actually employed by SwissAssetDAO. Because at the moment we're all doing this as volunteers in our free time, but we really want to hire a team. So I'm just raising awareness around that. I don't know, Chris, if that was obvious when we were kind of like trying to structure or explain SwissAssetDAO, but I think that's key, actually.
Is there like an agenda to make this Swiss centric? Well, it's in the name, right? Because that some I guess there's a strong connection between Switzerland and UAE as well. There's a lot of energy over there as well.
Yeah. So I can just tell you, like, my personal opinion. I think that in UAE, amazing things are happening, namely in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I think really amazing things happening. I think that I know that Abu Dhabi actually has a quite strong framework around DAOs managed through foundations. And I'm sure you know this, Chris, even better than me. Like, Venom Foundation is the first one that kind of was approved actually by ABGM, so Abu Dhabi Global Markets, if I recall correctly, kind of as a foundation, and meaning they also kind of like try to map that they run themselves like a DAO. So what I'm trying to say is kind of like early days as well, if you only have one, but it's a right step, right? And Abu Dhabi has taken the lead there to kind of provide that regulatory framework. And as you know, sure you know this, Chris, as well, very soon all of these conferences in October kick in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, where we need to have our presence as members of SwissAssetDAO and look to build relationships. So I don't know how you feel about that. Does that make sense, actually? And how do you feel how we can make a better connection?
Yeah, I'm no expert, obviously, but my feeling is that they want to invest a lot, but from my personal experience, is that they're slightly more risk averse than maybe we are in the West. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But once you prove yourself, they can open the floodgates, and they want to allocate large amounts into anything that can diversify them away from oil and gas. And there's also you're probably really well connected with Crypto Valley, right? Is it Crypto Oasis? Crypto Oasis, right? They're quite strong over there, and they also have their own free zone, I think. They're very, very strong presence in Dubai, and you probably know everybody there. So
I think that's I think, like, first of all, I want to say is that actually in Switzerland last week we got an opportunity to present SwissAssetDAO for the first time ever, like in a public conference setting. It was actually because of Ralph Glabischnik, Saker, and Faisal, who actually from Crypto Oasis, so kind of they were one of the key people in the organization of the conference in Switzerland, and they kind of invited me or us, SwissAssetDAO short term, very, kind of to last moment to kind of present. So let's say like that there is already certain affinity towards SwissAssetDAO, and friendship. Just want to say that with a lot of friendship. So I think you make a very good point. We should go. I mean, I will take this as my responsibility because I know Ralph, Sakar, Faisal. I know them for years actually. So I will take this as my responsibility that I speak with them how we can try to, put a bit of SwissAssetDAO footprint. So some of these mountains, that we bring them as well to UAE, and maybe. I don't know if Dubai is the right place, right, to do that because VARA, the regulator in Dubai, is a bit not so active on the DAO side, but maybe in Abu Dhabi,
Abu
with
Dhabi,
Hub
yes.
71 and all of these players, could be interesting. Yeah, I don't know how that sounds to you.
Yeah. Also, there's this thing about like my boss was saying. I was working in Abu Dhabi actually. My boss was a local. Abu Dhabi is a little bit jealous of Dubai, and they want to. They're like, oh, so we've got the money. They've got all the money, and everybody goes to Dubai. That's wrong. We need to fix that. So we need to get people into Abu Dhabi. There's a little bit of competition.
Yes, exactly. I kind of feel very much the same as like Abu Dhabi started earlier, like with this whole crypto regulation. I remember it. So, for instance, they have running crypto exchanges. In the back that offer certain services. So I think Signum Bank got their local banking license in Abu Dhabi, not in Dubai. Yeah. So I kind of feel like they are a bit ahead of the infrastructure side. That maybe yes, you're a bit. A lot of the people reside in Dubai, let's say. But I think Abu Dhabi is amazing. I've been there many times. Really super high quality people and very sophisticated financial infrastructure on the TradFi side. Yeah. So with a lot of hedge funds, bank asset managers, so it could be a good opportunity. I know Hub 71 is like very proactive, trying to get people closer from the crypto space. Yeah,
Indeed.
cool. Yeah. So yeah, okay, I'll take this on me. I have to then call Sakar and Faisal and Ralph very soon. I know they're already back in UAE. Need to ping them, and ask them how we can connect here. And I see Brad, Ali, people. I just want to apologize. I didn't give you the opportunity to speak, but if you want to join, we are happy to give you the floor. Hopefully you hear us. Hi, people. Would you like to share something? We don't hear you. You're muted if you want to say something. We don't hear you. Sorry. We don't hear you. I think we didn't manage to get people to speak. People, if you want to talk, just let me know. I mean, I think you're just muted actually, because once you unmute yourself, we should hear you normally. Yeah. Maybe let's give him a bit if he wants to try again. Okay, please do try. Yeah. Okay, no worries. So people mentioned that he could not unmute. So let's see for the next time that I organize this a bit better with some maybe instructions how to do it, because it may be a bit challenging, to join. But yeah, we need to improve on that. Yeah. But I mean, just to say, yeah, this is a little bit all from me on my side, kind of for today's community call. Really wanted to first thank you, Chris, for joining and sharing your thoughts and providing the feedback. So I will follow up, and I see that on LinkedIn in the chat, people already are quite active writing about Swiss foundations. Definitely want to mention that we are processing now. The founding membership applications. We're now going through that. You should hear through us all very soon, and then we'll bring to you, the community, our proposals for discussion. How do we structure memberships going forward? So for corporates, individuals, how would that look like, and also that we can plan that. And then also finally from me, I really invite you, think about it, about joining SwissAssetDAO core team. I think this is an amazing opportunity to build amazing technology, to be a pioneer on the legal front, to be a pioneer also on the DeFi front, because it's on chain actually, and bring those high quality, sustainable, high yielding real world asset investment opportunities to the treasuries of other DAOs, because they have no yield, and we need to bring them, offer them good products. Yeah. So this is just a little bit from me, kind of as a summary. Happy to pass the word to you, Chris, and Ali and Brad, if you want to add something. Yeah.
All good for me. Yeah. Nice meeting you. Nice reconnecting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more involved and.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. Please do. And I know we had a bit of a discussion, before the live stream, but we can have also a discussion afterwards. I know you're busy on other stuff, but definitely, I think I see SwissAssetDAO as an interesting opportunity. There's a great vibe and great an aura behind SwissAssetDAO, so we should leverage that and build something good. Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, Anton.
Cool. So thanks a lot, Chris. Yeah, really appreciate it. Yeah. And just to mention, people wrote us in the chat that we are in good hands with Ralph and Saker. I agree with that. Ralph and Saker are really great guys, and I think we can also take all of these amazing things that we have done here with SwissAssetDAO and take it abroad around the whole globe, including UAE, and kind of share our knowledge there. So I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Awesome. So I think we can slowly wrap it up. I'm just checking if there are any questions in the. So there's a lot of messages on LinkedIn, but I think more or less we covered all of them. So yeah, I just want to again thank to everyone for joining. Thanks a lot, Chris, for supporting me today. This was really awesome. Hope you do that every time now, each week. I really need it. And I just want to thank you and thank everyone for joining. So really a pleasure. Thanks a lot, everyone. Awesome.